Check it out, y'all. This is crazy.
This is some creepy ass shit. I came home to this shit at 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, y'all see this? This is the same size as my foot. You see this? Same size as my foot. I live in Oakville, Tennessee, which is right outside of Jackson, and this is going all the way around my neighbor's house. Now, this came from over here by my shed, y'all. Right? It's some crazy ass shit. And the weird thing that got me is here. I'm about to show it to you.
Comment below. What is it?
I was just
Let me know in the comments what you think it is.
Now I'm over here at the front of my house.
What do you all think it is? Let me know in the comments.
It's just 3 marks. 3 marks. You see this? I said 3. Sorry.
Notice the 2 claws.
Mark. And this right here is
2 toes.
Now, there's no other marks.
Not like any cryptid I've ever seen. Werewolf, Bigfoot, none of them.
Anywhere. It's almost like whatever this was.
It seems as though it left the house.
My backyard. Over my house.
Other than this, she hasn't really had any strange occurrences.
And then just disappeared. What the fuck could be that big?
But she does seem kind of rattly.
Y'all see this? The size of my footprint.
Reminds me of an encounter I had. I'll tell that story next. Alright, y'all. In light of that video, it's story time. The following story is my own experience. I've only told it in a couple of lives, never had actually made a video about it. Stick around, you don't want to miss it. So this happened at a place that I previously lived with my dad, who still lives there, that I currently own. Anybody will tell you there's a lot of weird occurrences there, from shadow people to extraterrestrial activity and possibly even cryptid activity. Needless to say, this place is rich with paranormal and supernatural occurrences. And it all started as soon as we moved in. Then I got my camper and it continued to ramp up. I would hear things being drug around my camper, look out and not see anything. Then at night sometimes my camper would literally just start to shake, like something big was pushing on it, like being territorial. My camper was at the back of our acre with a big field on the backside. I used to hear coyotes whooping and hollering all the time. And people had claimed to see bears and whatnot. I'd heard, though, through locals that maybe there was a possible dogman in the area. Somebody had said that a farmer went outside one time, seen a figure in his yard, couldn't believe what he saw, looked at the footprints, and it was a dogman. He called the cops and everything. So it's not out of the realm to hear about this type of stuff where I was at. That being said, this leads me to the most terrifying story. This story is absolutely true. I can remember it like it was yesterday. A lot had been going on back at the camper, so this particular night I was up at the house, hanging with my dad, watching TV, and it came about 4 o'clock in the morning, and he had to go into work. So Dad leaves, I lock the door exiting the house, but it is the entrance to the mudroom, and then the mudroom's right here, and there's a door coming into the house. And then on the back side of the mudroom, there's a sliding glass door. Sliding glass door is shut, front door was locked, and so was the house door. I didn't really expect anything to occur, but, you know, I was just watching TV, relaxing in a chair that was kind of facing in front of the TV and facing the door. And sure enough, about 20 to 30 minutes after my dad had left, I suddenly hear some commotion outside of the sliding glass door coming into the mudroom. It's crazy. I get chills still to this day telling the story. So I hear that commotion, and at this time, there was a lot going on around me at the camper. We live out in the country, so you know me. I had my deer rifle sitting right next to me. And we're not talking a little deer rifle here. This is a 270 Browning Bar 2 semi-automatic 5-shot clip. It's a bad piece of equipment, to say the least. Virtually anything that walked through that door, if they were hit with that, it'd be blouses, lights out. So I grabbed that and just set it in my lap, because at this time I'm just hearing a little commotion. It could be a raccoon, it could be anything. But then suddenly, things go from a little commotion outside to a lot of commotion in the mudroom. And I hear a loud crash, as if something was stumbling around, knocking stuff over in there. So I ready the rifle, and I kind of like have it aiming in the general direction of the door. And obviously I don't aim it right at the door because it could be a person, it could be anything. I just wait, and the light is on in the mudroom, right? There's a little crack under the door, so you can see the light. I see what I think is a mouse starting to run under the door sill. And my heart kind of just settled, you know, like, okay, it's just a mouse. But then something had long fingers, there's 3 of them, sharp claws at the end of them. And I can hear this low, guttural growl as it's running its hand under my door sill. My heart was beating out of its chest. I pick up my rifle as I'm sitting down, and I'm aiming it at the door, just waiting for this thing to come blasting through the door, because I'm gonna light it up. And what's more interesting is, during that situation, I remember looking at that hand and telling myself, I am of completely sound mind right now. I wasn't tired, I wasn't in a dream state. I was totally coherent, wasn't under the influence or anything. So as I was staring at it, I was telling myself, this is absolutely happening right now. I remember looking at that hand and hearing this guttural growl going, what the F is that? And it was almost as if when his hand was under the door, it was like he was sensing me, using his hand to read maybe the ambient temperature of the room or sense what was going on in the room, who was in there, how many people were in there. It was almost like it was a defense mechanism or a predator-prey mechanism. It was absolutely terrifying. So after he does that, the thing gets pissed. I hear this frustrated slight roar, and then I hear this crashing again, and crashing in the back outside of the sliding glass door. And I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, I hear this thing. This thing jumps the house and lands behind me. Boom! Behind me, it's this like little bump out that was added to the trailer. And it's this big ass bay window. We had them all covered except for this one little hole. And I'm literally so terrified. I slump down in my chair with my rifle in hand. And I slump in my chair, and I can hear this thing walking back and forth. Pissed off, growling, and it's almost as if he stops to look through that hole to see if he can see me. At this point, I'm freaking. It probably makes 5 or 6 passes back and forth, and then suddenly it lets out this frustrated grunt, and boom, it's gone. And I'm sitting there, cannot believe what just happened, don't know what to think. And to this day, until I saw her footprints, and the way she said it jumped over the house, it reminded me of that exact story. And at the time, there was leaves on the ground and stuff like that, so there were no footprints to be seen, no nothing. The only thing I came to the conclusion of was it was either paranormal, like a demon, a dog man, or an ET of some sort. And this is when I just started sharing my content, so I don't know. After seeing the footprints in that video, a part of me with the 3 fingers, maybe it could have been reptilian. I have no idea. The way she said it jumped over her house, I resonated with that. That was one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever had in my life. Now, whether it had anything to do with the dragging sounds I've been hearing at my camper, the shaking of my camper, I don't know. But that's one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever had. More weird things did take place, nothing quite as severe. I was always packing, no doubt about it. Was not going to take that risk. So, there you go. That's my story. I mean, I just know it wasn't all in my head that day. It was absolutely real. What it was, it very well could have been Dogman, but I didn't know Dogman only have 3 fingers. Fingers actually did look more almost reptilian-like. Kind of like the footprints in her video. Because if you research it, there are reptilians with 3 fingers, a thumb, and then 2 big toes with claws. So do me a solid, y'all. If you've had any similar experience, let me know about it in the comments. And if you have any idea of what this thing may have been, I'd love to hear y'all's opinions. Let me know.